Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now it's time for your weekend tech tip, brought to you by Chevy Silverado.
Welcome back, everyone. It's your Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week. Now, this is one that, again, some are going to be well aware of what a tuna ball is and some aren't. So this is super simple. First thing you do is you go over to Fisherman's Marine and you buy some of the netting that we use for spawn sacks or tuna balls. It's very easy to find. You're typically going to find it in the same area that you're going to find magic thread and some of the other pieces of the puzzle that we use for so many different things. And you can see it's just a very fine net material. You can buy it in pre-cut chunks, or I like to buy it in the big rolls because you do get more, and then just pre-cut them. So there's multiple different ways that you can get the material, but I like getting it on the big roll and just rolling it out and cutting it up into chunks so that I have a lot, right? Because you're going to go through a bunch of these things. Now, first things first, before we get to a couple of questions that's come in about this, one in particular was about stuffer baits and if you can use this, and you could, but we'll talk about that. Here's where I think the question initially came, was how to make tuna balls, right? We'll get to what you can use them on in a second. Don't overthink this. They have tuna ball makers, like little machines where you can drop the paper, or excuse me, the netting in, and then drop the tuna or whatever it is that you're gonna use in there, and it'll kind of spin things up for you. Okay, great, it's cool, you can do that, but it's just as simple as this. What I've got here is actually the Millennial Mulch, which is in high demand right now. If you can find it at Fisherman's, good luck. I mean, this stuff just comes in and goes out, so I'm not going to try to waste too much of this here, but there's other options, of course. Tuna, right out of the can, right, with oil, right? Now, I know there's others out there like, it doesn't matter, but I think it does. So get the tuna with oil, or another great one is called salmon bait. It's the tuna bloodline. They even come pre-scented with anise or garlic in there. Very, very cool bait. I had decent success with this over the last couple of years that I've been using it. Probably haven't been using it enough. Or again, this mulch from Millennial is perfect for it. So this is all you need to do. Once you get a couple, take at least two pieces of the netting, and just grab a small bit of the mulch or tuna, whatever you're using. Man, this stuff smells so good. And you can make these any size that you want. That's all you really need there. That's about a quarter size. You can make them smaller. You can make fat Freddies like we like to call them, big ones. Whatever it is that you want, you can make, right? Bigger, smaller, whatever. And once you get that on there, that's it. You don't have to do anything too crazy. Just roll it up, get all the corners from all sides. And we typically make these before we go out plunking or whatever we're going to decide. I like using them on plugs too. Again, we'll talk about that. But once you just get it rolled up like this, again, this is not rocket science. Just give it a small twist so you got it started. Don't squeeze it too hard. You don't want all that oil and juice and all the scent that's in there to come out. So don't make them too tight, okay? And here's where I know that I have done that, is with the stretchy thread. Okay, you're just going to take, I like the clear. I do have the red here for a reason, because it does give it contrast if you're going to use a different color, because they've got orange, pinks, and reds for this netting. But once you take your stretchy string, this is just the clear stuff, give it a few wraps, okay? But don't wrap down. If you start wrapping down, you're going to start putting more pressure on that sack, on the tuna ball, and you're going to squeeze out all that juice. So kind of start it and then work your way up. Again, I'm probably making this sound more technical than it needs to be, because this is literally all it is. And once you get it in there, you can, I like to do this. You don't have to. Some people will just take and pull it tight and break it off. Every time I do that, it just comes undone. It drives me nuts. So I throw a half hitch in there and then break her off. Make sure I got that little tag there so I know it's not going to come undone. So what you're left with is just a little ball, right? There's your quote unquote tuna ball. This is the exact same process, the exact same thing you would do with spawn sacks. If you were just going to use salmon eggs, right off the skein, we haven't done enough on that. That's one that we're going to talk more about. But basically, it's the same exact concept with this netting. Once you have that, you take your razor sharp, trust me on this one, razor sharp Kershaw scissors here, and you just cut off the excess. Now, once you have that done, you can take this and do a number of different things. You can put them into spinning fish, or the Brad's cut plugs. Makes it easy to get your scent in there and then pull it right out so you don't have to go through a bunch to get that tuna out and everything else, so you can certainly use it there. That was a question from one of our viewers. Also, you can put it on the belly of your plugs. I like to use them on my plugs that I'm sliding down on my main line when I'm plunking, right? I'll have 2 spinning glows fishing, and then I'll have that third plug coming down with a single hook on it, right? No hook on the belly, just a hook on the tail. And that makes it super easy to put this right over the eye that's on the belly of that plug. Doesn't matter if it's a mag lip, if it's anything similar, Brad's Killer Fish, whatever it is. You can put it right over that eye, stretchy string it down, and it gives it a little bit of color, obviously the scent, and it doesn't interfere with how that plug is going to work. Now, with spinning glows that we will plunk, right, you cast those things out there, you literally just run your hook through it, get it up on the knot, stretchy string it on tight. If you like to run skirts like we do, or maybe you don't, maybe you like to run them naked, whatever it is, it's an easy way to get that scent ball on it, that tuna ball on. Just stretchy string it on, and you're good to go. It can actually be the difference between having success and not. Like some days we get stuck on using coon shrimp or prawns or whatever it might be. You put on a tuna ball and ding, ding, ding. And we all love the ding, ding, ding. So there's lots of ways that you can use them. From the bank, from the boat, you can use them behind spinners even. Just run a smaller version of this, okay? And you can actually put it on a treble hook, one of the hooks, just slide it into the middle and run a bit of stretchy string over it so it stays in that pocket of that treble hook, and you can run it behind spinners. So these things are just a really simple way that you can put great scent in the water, have a little bit of contrast, a little bit of eyeball, right, because of the color, from pinks to oranges to red, whatever, chartreuse even. But it's a great way that you can get that scent on there and not have to get too elaborate. And they're very useful for a number of other things. You just got to kind of explore what it is that you want to do. And again, stuffer baits is another option for you as well. But anything from tuna right out of the can, pre-scented stuff, or this millennial mulch, again, if you can find it, very, very effective and an easy way to change your baits, maybe differentiate from others, and hopefully get you a couple of other bites. All right, so we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have Bill Monroe Jr. We're going to talk about, is there an option to get back onto the Columbia this year? It's 2024. It's insane. You don't know. We'll be right back.